Hey YouTube, so we are at the point of welding these two pieces of the B-pillar together. Alright, so what I did was I lined up these two holes in here, these two holes and these two holes. You can't see it, but I lined that up. I also want to hide most of my welds, so I made all my holes on the back side so that for one, I could just grind it off easier, and for two, it doesn't mess up anything with the side that's going to be finished, or the finished side, or the side you'll see. So that's the panel there. I'm at my welding table, so I have it semi-clamped down. Made a video before about like clamps and clamping and screwing to suck the panels together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to weld pretty much anywhere there's like they're basically sandwiched, and then afterwards I'm going to move the clamps from one location and then pretty much scatter them everywhere, trying to lock in one of each side of the weld. That way I know that I've sucked the panel in from both sides and they're touching each other, basically kissing. So here is less critical for me to start off my welds. I need this position locked in first. So here is where I'm going to put my initial welds. Everything else, any shift because of heating, I could care less. Here is critical. Everywhere else is adjustable. This lip, that lip, you can move the panels inside the car for that. But here and where the striker goes, you don't want to mess that up, because you don't want to essentially have to open up your hole more to get more room, or have to open these holes up and then have to ultimately shift this. So this location is critical. So that's where we start, and then we propagate outward. Okay, so that's why there's nothing here yet. However this moves and where this ends up is irrelevant. Okay, so that's first and foremost. So just to give you a review, a little look-see. Oh, FYI, see all of this? I sanded the mating surfaces between these two areas. So this back here and this top here, and then I welded it. And then I weld through primed it. Okay, so this panel comes, this silver is weld through prime. It's actually a gray, but in the light it looks silver. So this is weld through primed, and this was the original weld through primer I received. So this got a second and third coat of weld through primer. And what I like to do is one of two things. All right, one is I like to ground on my substrate. That way I know my initial spark of my weld is going to hit the parent metal first and then melt into the top metal. That way I know I have good adhesion and I don't have to worry about this weld breaking, because I know it melted into the top here. So the alternative is if you weld up here, if you ground up here or ground this panel, what can end up happening is that the puddle is automatically going to go towards the top surface first, and then could potentially bubble over on top of the weld versus penetrating through. You know, if your heat settings are right, it should melt into the next panel, but I just like insurance, so I just cleaned up a little bit of what I painted with that, and then afterwards I just grounded. I just put my ground here, so it's nothing more than that. Beyond that, sometimes I might like do a little scratch right in the center there, just to make sure, in case I put too too much coats and it's too thick. So beyond that, it's pretty straightforward from here. Just fill in the holes. Well, play a little shuffle with the clamps and then fill in the holes. All right, cheers.